Alright guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the 4 representations in math, and in my video I'm going to be teaching you how to find the growth, the rule, and how to complete the table in your question. You don't necessarily need to learn how to do this right now if you're starting off, which is kind of what I'm aiming for people who are starting off. And when you start off, you have to learn the growth, the rule, and the table, and those are the 3 things I'm going to be teaching you guys about. Alright, so the question is complete the table and find both the rule and growth of the table. So the rule, the growth, and the table. They've already given us a few pieces to the table, which is like the 1 and the 4, the 3 and the 8, and the 4 and the 10. We haven't gotten the extra piece for the 2 or the 5 yet, so we just have to fill that in, which is going to be pretty easy. To find the table, I usually just choose like 3 and 8, for example, because they're already filled out. And in math, the x value is like 3, is either multiplied by a 2 or a 3. Like, that's like standard for the table. So you can just do it in your mind, like 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So that would work out, or you could also just test out other numbers just in case. Like you could also do, we'll test it out even though it's not right. 3 times 3, that's 9 plus, so that's already over the 8 limit. So we know that it's not multiplied by 3. X is not multiplied by 3, it's multiplied by 2. And we're just going to test that out for the other ones to make sure it's true. So 1 times 2 is 2, plus 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So we're just going to use that formula to figure out what 2 is and what 5 is. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So here, this right here, that's 6. And then we're going to do 5 times 2 plus 2 is 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So that's 12 right there. So that's what our rule is. Our rule is x equals, because x equals x times 2 plus 2. So once we've filled out our table and our rule, we can move on to our growth, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is look at the similarity between the 4 and the 6, the 6 and the 8 and the 10 and the 12. And so we know that 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. So the growth is plus 2. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is go down the y chart and figure out the relationship between each number. So that's pretty simple. So we found out our rule, which is x equals x times 2 plus 2. Oh, and then also another way you can figure out what the rule is, you can also just do 2x, which is like x, the x2, 2x plus 2. That's also a simpler way to write it. That's for a little bit later when you feel comfortable with writing it like that. But until then, I'd recommend just sticking to like this way, the longer way. And so the growth is pretty simple. You just go down the y column and figure out what the relationship between each value is. And yeah, we filled out the table. Yeah. Okay guys, so in the 4 representations in math, there's multiple practice standards, but I just chose 2. I stuck with model with mathematics and logic and reasoning. Logic and reasoning is pretty much a given in math. Like, you have to use your mind and your reasoning skills or else you won't understand what you're doing. So like it says right here, I use words, numbers, logic, and reasoning skills to help me solve problems. You know, it's pretty much a given. And I also chose model with mathematics because it says I can clearly show my work using diagrams, words, symbols, and pictures. So in the 4 representations, we used a table as a diagram. The words were just a question, and the symbols were the X's that we had to fill in, and then the pictures were also the table and the graph. Those 2 are pretty much like the main things, like the main practice standards that we use in the 4 representations. And yeah.